Well, good afternoon, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Welcome. I'm glad to have you on our podcast today. And it's entitled The Mindset of a Champion, What Sets You Apart? And I know you have a real strong interest and background in the insurance field. And especially now with with State Farm and running the office there, and just wanted to get to know you a little bit better. Maybe you could share kind of how you got into insurance and what was your path?
Sure. So, well, I was, just graduated high school out in LA County, Norwalk High School, and I just always had the inkling to help, serve, and heal in a sense, just to nurture. So I first thought, well, let me be a nurse. So I actually was going to school, college to be a nurse, and my part-time job was an insurance agency, an all-state agency, and the opportunity started there very early for me. And I just, start from a managing position, I guess you could say, in the work field. I've been the captain of the team, whatever team I join, whatever affiliation I accompany or join. I'm most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'm the leader, I'm the boss, I'm the captain. So I just think that a champion is born. I don't think you're made. I think you're born, because it just comes with a certain uh you know a mindset and a drive. So very early on, basically, the money was very good for me. 18, 19 years old, it was phenomenal, more than I could ever imagine. So that was probably the first a catalyst into saying and pivoting into, hey, this looks like I might be good at this. And it was I was helping people, especially from a community where English wasn't first language. So I became somewhat of a pillar, I think, in my community. It was in my hometown, that office, and I just feel that I was able to help, serve, maybe even heal, especially if when talking about life insurance, you're talking about love, family, death, right? So it's an emotional process, just like a game. It's emotional. It's energy and motion. So I just felt that energy at that time was for me, and I just managed from there. Then I became a farmer's agent, which was very successful. But life has its events, and divorce happened
Twists
for
and
me,
turns,
and
and yeah.
but like anything, as far as a championship mindset could relate to that, is you're playing a game. It's not looking too good, but it's not over.
Hmm.
Not over till it's over. So you might be down quite a bit. You might be scuffed up quite a bit, but like that champion mindset, you stand up, you dust it up, and you keep going. So, and that's life in general. It's gonna hit you. So from there, I became an agent, divorced, and just after that, got into some creative stuff. You find yourself a little bit, maybe try different sports, right? As far as different careers. And now, as far as managing a State Farm agency in Huntington Beach, has proven my skills a lot more, because I'm dealing with an array of customers, different players, right? Sometimes we're dealing with really good players, or so you have to know how to just play the game. And I think I've just been enjoying it, and I think it's just adapting, constantly adapting to the playing field, really. But
Yeah,
that's how I start. Yeah.
that's important. And it's you mentioned something that was key, that you started early in life. You started at a work that a lot of young people don't start at.
Yeah.
They start at
Yes.
fast food, retail,
Mhm.
or wherever, but you started really on a journey that would help people for life, and you pivoted
Mhm.
as life threw some challenges at you and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really good. That's
You know, just
amazing.
like when the coach would have conversations with their players, it's the same. It's a field, it's a career where you're face to face with people.
Hmm.
And you wouldn't believe the people, just in the environment of a desk and a chair sitting there with you, how much they actually divulge to you.
Yeah.
I could also consider myself a therapist. I've cried with
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah.
So I mean, the biggest part of the game of life is connection. You need connection, you need teams for life. This is a long game, and it's like I said, it's not over till it's over. So,
Understand that.
I don't have no regrets. I don't feel anything, like I said, the game is going to be played, but it's over. You can't change certain aspects of the game.
Right.
Um, and that's the mindset you have to continue to have throughout any difficulties, any obstacles, and anything changes in any industry. My industry right now is facing a lot of turmoil with
Yes.
rates and the fires that we have. Our
Yeah.
California state is pretty
The
out of
coverage.
hand. But I get those calls, about those rates. But all I can say right now to anybody, as far as your insurance goes, it's just a little time to just adapt, modify some things, but just know that these happenings with rates and insurance at the same time, it's a lot of times, most of the time, it's really to keep your things up to date. So you're
Hmm.
100% covered for today's inflation. So if they can understand that, they'll maybe have a better understanding. In other words, if we're giving you, let's say for homeowners insurance, we're going to pay you $1 million to rebuild your property, but you're only paying us 3,000 for insurance a year. I think it's
Right.
pretty fair.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
it's just a
You
matter
have
of
to educate
perception.
people.
Just a
Yeah.
matter of perception, change the thought process of it, and it's actually pretty okay. And if anything, it should just encourage homeowners, maintain your property, check that roof, check your stucco, check your plumbing, electrical. That is your job as a homeowner in the first place. Is your job is to maintain that property. Same thing with your auto. Should I really go out 5 times a day for fast food? I'm really exposing myself out there in the side streets. So even driving less, driving for purpose, not adventure, it's just modify, adapt to everything, right?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Well, that's why you've been a champion in your field. That's why you've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Yes. Yes.
You know, we share that same champion mindset in the mortgage industry. And obviously, we work very closely with
Yeah.
insurance industry to make sure, as that's a key component for closing any loan, making sure that
Mm.
there's insurance in place.
Yes, yes, yes.
Education is so important, letting the buyers know, especially first-time home buyers. I mean, they're petrified of the whole process, right? And so to educate them,
Yeah.
let them know what to expect, let them know what their cost will be. And
Mm-hmm.
insurance, sometimes what they do, not insurance, but when they're looking at their monthly payment, they'll say, hey, what's the interest rate? You tell them, and you tell them, here's what your monthly payment will look like. And all they usually see is principal and interest. They don't see the taxes. They don't see the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
insurance. They don't see HOA, all these other things. So I love the way that you mentioned that you spend time to really help people understand, the
Yeah.
process and what they're getting into.
Yeah, and what goes into it, right? And you have to think, well, this is a pretty important and a pretty big asset, and to protect. And at the end of the day, your insurance is your helmet, your cleats, your shoulder pads. So you can go out to the game bare skin, but you could, risk losing what you're trying to attain here and thriving for, essentially. But it's just communication. Be very good at communicating and helping and aiding and educating, like you said. So that's
Very
why we're in our
transparent.
positions. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Now, it's no secret we've a pandemic hit us really hard in 2020 here, and it's still floating out there and in different
yeah,
variants and all this stuff. But
yeah,
when that hit, and then the inflation hit on top of that, and interest rates skyrocketed, and just the economy went nuts.
mm,
Some people, maybe even some of your close friends like ours, lost their businesses.
yep,
They lost so many things. And yet those that made adjustments and pivots in their business and in their personal life stayed successful. Can you share what adjustments you had to make during that time to help your business?
Well, with this, in regards to like insurance business, what we really missed out on was the face-to-face connections. We're no longer seeing the clientele, which is a big part of that connection in this field. But I also feel it showed us how to work smarter, not harder.
Yes.
I think, the movement of more remote work and seeing for most employers that some jobs you don't need to be in an office. You don't need to drive. So I think everything has its purpose. Even something like a shutdown. I'm very divinely driven, meaning I believe everything is divine and universal in the ways that things happen. So I also feel that this happened to us as well because we needed to stop what we were doing, because whatever we were on path, thinking, the way we're spending, utilizing our time, we were in the wrong direction. So I think we needed that shakeup. I also feel that it was a blessing for a lot of people, even clientele, because they started businesses at this time. So like I said, through struggles and hardships, you're going to uncover some things, because if you have kids and you got a mortgage, or you are going to get creative. And I think
Roll up in sleeves
that's
and go.
just like I said, if we're really down, the score is down. Well, to pick up your socks, dust off your shoulders, and it's not over, and give it your 100%. Because but yeah, I think it was a blessing in disguise, and just showed us how to work a little bit more at ease. Maybe things are a little more simpler than they are right now, designed for the workplace, right? So
Yeah, a lot of businesses needed to pivot with regards to using Zoom like this. Like
yeah, yeah.
face to face wasn't possible at that time, but
Mhm.
those that didn't resist the technology but embraced it, see, we learned very
Yeah,
quickly how to still have face to face interaction,
yeah,
and to make sure we're still building confidence in the general population that we're here to help. We're still in business, we're still
yes,
thinking.
yes, yes. Yes, and I think it only, what do they say when your love's away, or what's the saying when you don't have someone close to you, or your heart, like you miss it while it's away, and then when it
Oh,
comes back, what's
yes.
that saying? But basically, now if we do have a face to face, I get very happy to see someone face to face, and I think maybe with that whole shutdown, you can appreciate that a little bit better. The human connection. The
Yes.
human connection is very vital. And I think that was probably the hardest part of that episode, was just that no human connection. We couldn't touch, we couldn't, digital is one thing, right? Like
Yeah.
video, but to be in front of someone is a whole nother experience. And that we need that as human beings to thrive. We can't play a game by ourselves, not even
Yep.
golf, if you think about it, you know?
It's true.
So, yeah, I think, it's second quarter, life's not over. I think
Yeah.
the world is changing. I think some in positive direction. I think we're getting rid of negative energies and clearing up the space for a whole new world. So I think, the workplace and everything's going to get more exciting for people. And I think it's going to get progressive pretty soon in all areas. And I think all this inflation, these rates, and we just got to get through this storm. And I think we're going to be in calmer waters pretty soon. And just the biggest thing with a champion mindset is you're always on a positive mindset.
Yes.
And the
Very.
minute you get it knocked down, you really have to shake it off and get out of it immediately, if anything. But that really takes a lot for for a champ to go down, like Muhammad Ali. It's going to take a lot though,
Yeah.
right?
How
So
important, we're speaking about a champion mindset. How important is it to wake up each morning and know your why and be intentional about your day?
because we're all born with a purpose, and every day our goal should be to complete that purpose. And I think you just have to indulge in your life experience to really find the answer to what that is. Uh, so I feel until we're dead, every day must be a day of purpose. And because it is a blessing to wake up every day. And I think we really need to pay attention to how much of a blessing that is to take a breath, to not have died in the night in your sleep
Right?
from anything, right? And that's a big thing.
Be
Um,
grateful.
just being grateful. It's nothing physical. The champion mindset is nothing physical because I'm 4'11" and I was one of the best softball players, not to gloat or anything, but I was very good. But for someone who would see someone little like me, you don't expect much, right?
Hmm.
So it's a spiritual thing, it's a mind thing, it's emotional, it's spiritual. That's spiritual
Yeah,
because
that
the
makes it
champ has that conversation in their mind first before they play the game.
that's
Just
right.
like Kobe Bryant would envision the game or his shots before.
Yep.
It's the mind that plays, it's not the body, it's the mind. So if you can harness your mind and keep that mindset on, there's no stopping you.
Yeah, you
There's
become
just no stop.
unstoppable. You have, winners win. Kobe, people like Kobe, winners want the ball. They always want
Hmm.
the ball.
Yeah,
And when you
yeah.
think about that in any field in life, whether we're insurance, mortgage, financial planning, realtors, whatever field we're in, if we have that champion mentality, that winner mentality, I can't wait to wake up and help a new family today.
Yeah,
Whatever it
absolutely.
is,
Yes.
we're going to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
We want the
Yeah.
ball. Give me the ball.
Yeah. And when you get that win, you're gonna want it again and again and again and again. So um, you know, you don't lose that way. You don't lose.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And what I'd like to do is just kind of uh, get your take and wrap things up a little bit here as well. What advice? You have a lot of experience in business and in life. What advice would you give to someone that says, I don't know if I keep doing this, whether they're in insurance, mortgage, whatever field they're in, they're just struggling. What advice would you have to give to them to be successful?
Um, I would say they would need to be on the pursuit of happiness,
Hmm,
meaning you have to find your happiness. What makes you happy? You have to dig into yourself to see what your happiness is like. What is it that you're doing? And if whatever it is that you're doing that you could think of that I could really feel alive when I'm doing this. Uh, just find your passion, and no matter what it is, even if you want to say, I want to be a ballerina, then that path will open up once you decide. The biggest thing is what makes you happy, decide and pursue it. One example would be the movie The Pursuit of Happiness with
mhm.
Will Smith.
Yeah,
Whatever it is, that guy saw Ferrari, red Ferrari, coming from a level where he was at financially to looking at something like that financially and saying, I want it. It is that easy. Decide what you want to do, be happy, and be consistent, and take out giving up out of the equation. There is no you
that's not an
have no
option.
choice. It's not an option. Once you decide and you decide that's what makes me happy and that's what I want to do, the monetary benefit, whatever you get paid or the income out of it will come on its own
The money
because you're
follows.
on your path. You're on your path. When it's on your path, you'll just find your happiness and pursue it.
That's really good advice. And I had somebody recently uh, relate an experience. They were asked, what does success look like to you? And the way he responded was, it looks like happiness. If
Hmm.
I'm happy, then I view that as successful. And I'll do everything in my life to stay happy. That includes helping people. That makes me happy when you help
Yeah.
others. making sure my family's taken care of first and
Yes,
foremost.
correct. Yeah.
He's a spiritual man, so God
Yep.
comes first in his life.
Yes. Yes.
All of those things. Success means that I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
And he nowhere in there did he
Yep.
mention money, material things,
Yep.
anything like that. So I like what you,
Happy. Yeah. Happiness is health. That's true wealth. The man is happy because he feels good on all levels. And that is definitely the key is being healthy, being healthy.
yeah,
Because if you can't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. So, and for me, my motivation is my health because I have two little girls and they need a happy mom to be
absolutely.
happy girls. And no matter what comes to them at life, as long as they're happy and they maintain a positive mindset, there's nothing that's going to knock them down. So,
Yeah, they're unstoppable. Get rid of
yeah,
those self-limiting beliefs and I can't do it. No, I can do it. I will
can,
do it. If you can
will do
dream
it.
it, you can have it.
Correct. Amen. Yes.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today. Truly appreciate your insights. It's obvious that you have the champion mindset and you're successful as a happy person helping other people. I'm grateful that you joined our podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.